Hey guys, welcome back here to Intuitive Angling, and really appreciate you guys checking out today's episode and spending some of your day with me. And guys, I want to give you my commentary today. They've got the Bass Pro Tour Redcrest Championship going on today. Yesterday was the first day of the tournament here on Table Rock Lake, which is just right down the road from me. And like I said in the title, I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised. I want to get into this today and sort of give you my thoughts on it. Looking forward to hearing your commentary, so we're going to dig into that today. Also, guys, quick reminder, we do have my Blaukat Throwback jig back in stock at Tackle Warehouse. We've had back ordered on a couple of the colors, been really popular lately. If you guys are interested in trying some of my hand-tied living rubber Blaukat Throwback jigs, I'll put the link in the description, my Tackle Warehouse link. You can order them there. Also, guys, real quick reminder, only got about another week left in the sale on my Solar Bat Series signature glasses, my RB2s and 3s. We've got 3 different frame colors here. 30% off if you use the promo code RandyB between now and the end of April. So I'll have that in the description of the video. If you're just going to get one pair, guys, get that high contrast yellow lens that really shows up good in lower light conditions. So definitely appreciate that. Okay, guys, it didn't surprise me whatsoever. If you guys have been hearing it or watching it, yesterday it was the first day of the tournament. And I think that they said that either 26 or 28 of the 35 contestants were using forward-facing sonar in that tournament during the rounds they can use it. And I'd heard people commenting and talking about the whole tournament that they just freaking whacked them on the periods, you know, where they used the forward-facing sonar. And they caught them on the periods where they didn't have them both. Let me tell you what's going on here, guys. Don't get all excited when you hear these guys, oh, Randy, you don't know what you're talking about. They caught them just as good on the periods without forward-facing sonar as they did with it, you know, which probably wasn't true. But even if they did, that is because they are at Table Rock Lake right now. This is the best week to fish the lake. Out of 52 weeks out of the year, guys, the second and third week of April at Table Rock Lake is the best time to fish it, because that's when so many of the bass in the lake are up on the bank and they're biting and they're hungry and they're chewing. They're eating anything. Fishing is really easy on the lake right now. Don't get all excited about that, because that's not the way it is all the time. The bass that are left in Table Rock Lake, this is what they're doing now. They're in shallow water, they're spawning, you know, probably 50-60% of those fish. The other 40% are, you know, out there roaming, chasing shad balls, and which they always do at Table Rock in that clear water. But it's just that the fishing is good right now anywhere. And that's just, April bass fishing is just really good. But anyway, what I want to talk about in today's video is how the Redcrest, it's like when the part of this event where they allow forward-facing sonar, it really undermines the entire energy and the credibility of the Redcrest that would not exist if they did not have that in place there. So when you have the Redcrest, which is the championship tournament for the Bass Pro Tour, and you have forward-facing sonar having this element of influence in the tournament, it's almost like that people are apologetic about it. It's like, so if you follow this very closely, it's like there's something about the fact that they feel like they've got to allow this, you know, at least one period in the event. But when they do that, and you see these guys catching, you know, 30, 40 pounds of fish during the period they can use forward-facing sonar, and they struggle the rest of the event, that just undermines what that event actually is. Now, here's the thing here's the case that I would make about it. If you had the Redcrest at Table Rock right now, and forward-facing sonar was not legal, number one, you'd have a lot more enthusiasm in the event, and it would have a lot more credibility to that particular event as well, as far as, you know, showcasing the true art form of bass fishing. But what you have is these anglers that are, you know, doing well in the tournament. And of course, you know, we find out that they've caught most of their fish, or a lot of their fish, with the forward-facing sonar period. It takes away from their accomplishment, because make no mistake about it, guys, the majority of the bass anglers in this country, when they find out a pro has taken bass, you know, using the cheater box, there's a stigma attached to that. You can't get past it. Now, there's a percentage of the people, like anything else in our society, there's always going to be 25% of a tribal, populist type of a viewpoint on any topic that you have. And it's the same with forward-facing sonar. You're going to have 25% of the anglers out there that think it's the greatest thing in the world, but you're going to have 75% of the anglers when they find out somebody caught 30 or 40 pounds of fish during their period of forward-facing sonar, that delegitimizes and that takes something away from that performance that that angler had. Even if they go out and they catch a lot of fish during their non-forward-facing sonar period, there's a stigma attached to that that you can't get beyond. And the point that I want to make, let's say, for example, this tournament that's going on at Table Rock Lake right now. Now, yesterday, you heard people talking about how they whacked them during their period with forward-facing sonar and they caught fish, even without it. But you heard overwhelmingly so many people about the spotted bass, and a lot of the largemouth were chasing bait balls out, either pre-spawn or post-spawn, and they're catching those fish with forward-facing. If you did not have that, look at the energy of the event and look how that event would have been different if everybody was just fishing traditionally at the Redcrest. Say, you got a couple guys fishing a chatterbait up the river. You got some guys, weenie worming around and shaky heading and Ned rigging down the lake. You got some people that are dragging football head jigs for pre-spawn fish. You may even have some guys catching them on as topwater or swim bait. You would have a diversity of techniques. If forward-facing sonar, spotlight, and cheater box was not allowed in this particular tournament, what you would have is this incredible diversity of approaches and techniques for the Redcrest Cup qualifiers. Like I said, you would have dozens of potential techniques that you could really dig into as far as what it takes to master those techniques. But right now, you're talking about a guy with a jig head minnow looking down at that screen, and that does not lend to any diversity. It lends to, some type of a bread sandwich, boring type of a viewpoint. It's the same thing all the time. We all been through it. We know what it is. So from just a standpoint of a spectator sport and a viewership standpoint and the YouTube and social media clips, if MLF would have not allowed forward facing in the championship, we would have seen all these techniques showcased that would have perked interest in a lot of different anglers, because some people like to flip, some people like to throw topwater, some people like to do whatever, and not very many people like to ping a forward facing sonar minnow. I'm just telling you what it is. Even the people that do it don't enjoy it as much as the other technique. So once again, it's like we're faced with the obvious here. It's like, it's like when you take a situation that is so obvious, it would be so much better under a certain scenario, yet they continue to force it down the throats of the bass fishing public. It perplexes me to no end. And I'll keep doing it, guys. People say, Randy, just beating a dead horse. We're tired of hearing about this. As long as I have to scroll through my social media in the morning and I see the fact that such and such caught 30 bass during his forward-facing sonar period, we're going to keep bringing this up and drawing attention to it. So anyway, guys, my prediction, if you saw my prediction, I did a video last week talking about the Cup, the Redcrest. I told you guys it's going to be one forward-facing sonar, even though all the fish are spawning. It's going to get one with the cheater box. I promise you it's going to. I'll keep you guys updated as the tournament goes along, and I'll show you what I mean with that. So we'll talk later.